The Raging Rooks. In 1991, the story of the Raging Rooks, a chess team from Harlem, captured national attention. Comprised of students from underprivileged backgrounds with limited formal training compared to their elite competitors, they face significant disadvantages. Lacking special funding, a history of success, or star players, their primary assets were determination and an exceptional coach, Maurice Ashley. Ashley, a young Jamaican chess master, perceived not underdogs, but untapped potential within these diverse youths. 6 black boys, 1 Latino, and 1 Asian American, hailing from communities afflicted by poverty and crime, often raised in single-parent households. Many had only recently learned chess, some, like Captain Cassan Henry, learning on the streets. Despite initial setbacks in the National Junior High Chess Championships, slipping in rank due to inexperience, Coach Maurice Ashley reminded them that they could only control their decisions, not their results. He emphasized that the key to their comeback was not the outcomes of the games, but the way they played. Maurice encouraged them to focus on their actions and decisions rather than getting discouraged by the challenges they faced. His belief was that, regardless of the results, they had already proven themselves by surpassing expectations. In a remarkable turn, the Raging Rooks capitalized on the faltering top teams, ultimately tying for first place and becoming national champions within 2 years. Their victory, however, was attributed not solely to chess skill, but significantly to the character skills cultivated throughout their journey. This narrative serves as a powerful entry point into exploring the concept of hidden potential. The nature of potential, nurture, character, and skill development, challenging the myth of innate greatness. The Raging Rook's success challenges the pervasive belief that greatness is an innate quality reserved for prodigies. Research consistently suggests that achievement is often more a product of nurture than nature. While talent plays a role, its realization depends heavily on the presence of growth-conducive conditions. Without them, potential can remain dormant. Studies across various fields, arts, sciences, athletics, reveal that many high achievers were not identified as prodigies early on. Instead, motivation derived from opportunities, coupled with perseverance and determination, paved their path to success. Psychologists studying these individuals emphasize that motivation and the right learning environment are often more predictive of success than raw, early talent. The foundational role of character skills. Central to this nurturing process is the development of character skills, attributes like discipline, determination, resilience, and proactivity, which are learnable and can be cultivated over time. Maurice Ashley recognized this, focusing not just on chess strategy, but on instilling values of hard work, resilience, and teamwork. The Raging Rook's composure under pressure stemmed not from innate talent, but from these developed character skills. Economist Raj Chetty's research further validates this, finding that experienced kindergarten teachers significantly impacted their students' future earnings, primarily by fostering non-cognitive skills like proactivity and discipline, rather than solely cognitive ones. Ashley utilized chess as a medium to impart these life-altering skills. The Raging Rooks didn't just become champions, they leveraged these lessons to overcome significant life challenges, with members like Cassan Henry achieving multiple degrees and becoming an award-winning filmmaker, and Jonathan Knock becoming a software engineer and founder. Their story symbolizes how the right support and opportunity can unlock potential, inspiring others and demonstrating that talent is cultivated, not just inherited. Character versus personality. Malleability across the lifespan. Contrary to psychologist William James's 19th century assertion that character set like plaster by age 30, contemporary research demonstrates its malleability throughout life. A study involving 1,500 West African entrepreneurs in their 30s, 40s, and 50s revealed that training focused on character skills, proactivity, discipline, determination, yielded significantly higher business growth, 30% average increase, compared to training focused solely on cognitive skills, finance, marketing. These entrepreneurs learn to anticipate market shifts, generate opportunities, and maintain resilience, proving that character development is possible at any age. It is crucial to distinguish character from personality. Personality relates to innate tendencies in thought, feeling, and action, while character involves aligning actions with values, especially under pressure. Character is tested and revealed not during ease, but during adversity. It is less about inherent traits and more about conscious choices, making character skills accessible for development by anyone willing to invest the effort. Reclaiming soft skills as essential character strengths. Historically, character traits like proactivity and determination were often dismissed as soft skills, a term originating in the 1960s to differentiate non-machine-related skills, leadership, teamwork, from technical, hard skills. However, as technology automates more cognitive tasks, these character skills are increasingly recognized as paramount. Computers now handle complex tasks from financial management to medical diagnosis. In this evolving landscape, human skills like connection, communication, and collaboration rooted in character become essential differentiators and critical for future success. Individual strategies for cultivating potential, embracing discomfort and mistakes as catalysts for growth. Growth often necessitates stepping outside one's comfort zone. Sarah Maria Hasbun's journey of learning multiple languages while traveling exemplifies this. She embraced the awkwardness of communicating in new tongues, recognizing discomfort as a sign of progress. Similarly, polyglot Benny Lewis overcame his self-perceived lack of a language gene by forcing himself into real-world conversations, embracing mistakes as learning opportunities. Lewis intentionally aimed to make hundreds of mistakes daily, realizing that errors accelerated his learning and reduced his fear of failure. Mistakes are not indicators of failure, but essential components of the learning process. This aligns with the concept of learned industriousness, where effort, even if imperfect, is reinforced, motivating persistence through challenges. Actively seeking discomfort is often more effective than merely overcoming challenges that arise passively. Studies show enhanced performance when individuals push beyond their natural inclinations. Comedian Steve Martin, despite disliking writing, embraced it as essential for refining his comedy, ultimately growing as a performer. Lewis termed his approach social skydiving, intentionally entering situations demanding communication. The core principle is that growth arises from leaning into discomfort, not avoiding it. Feeling nervous or awkward when tackling something new is often a positive indicator that learning and development are occurring. Adaptability and absorptive capacity, learning to be a sponge. The ability to adapt is fundamental to thriving, echoing Leon C. Megginson's interpretation of evolutionary success. Not the strongest or smartest survive, but the most adaptable. The sea sponge serves as a compelling natural metaphor. Thriving through massive extinction events over 500 million years ago, these seemingly simple organisms, lacking brains or muscles, survive by efficiently filtering nutrients, expelling toxins, and even regenerating. Their success hinges on their remarkable ability to absorb, filter, and adapt, skills valuable for human growth as well. Being a sponge translates to actively seeking information, discerning its utility, filtering out noise, and applying relevant knowledge to adapt to changing circumstances. Growth stems not just from hard work, but from smart learning. Mellody Hobson's life trajectory from a challenging Chicago upbringing to co-CEO of a major investment firm, exemplifies this. Her success was driven not only by diligence, but by her high absorptive capacity, the ability to recognize, value, assimilate, and apply new information. From a young age, she immersed herself in learning, absorbing knowledge from books and mentors like John Rogers, and studying figures like Warren Buffett. True learning involves this active internalization and application of useful information. The critical role of feedback in adaptation. Effective learning requires openness to feedback. Hobson recalls crucial, albeit difficult, feedback from Bill Bradley about her tendency to dominate conversations. Recognizing the feedback stemmed from belief in her potential, she sought advice on how to change, adapted her leadership style, and ultimately enhanced her collaborative abilities. Constructive, actionable feedback is vital for improvement. Approaching feedback with a growth mindset, focusing on development rather than ego defense, unlocks its power. Shifting the question from "how did I do" to "what can I do better next time?" transforms feedback conversations from performance reviews to future-oriented growth opportunities. Kenyan javelin thrower Julius Yego embodies the sponge approach in action. Lacking formal coaching and resources in his rural village, he taught himself by meticulously studying YouTube videos of elite athletes. He filtered techniques, adapted them, and persistently improved, eventually winning the World Javelin Championship in 2015 with a remarkable throw. His proactive self-teaching, absorption of knowledge, and adaptation led to extraordinary success against the odds. Being a sponge is an active process of absorbing, filtering, adapting, seeking knowledge, and remaining open to feedback, key components of continuous learning and unlocking potential. Excellence over perfection, finding value in imperfection. Leonard Cohen's lyric, "There is a crack in everything." That's how the light gets in, speaks to the value found in imperfection. This concept resonates in fields like architecture and personal development. Renowned architect Tadao Ando, largely self-taught after an impoverished upbringing in post-war Japan, exemplifies this. His path involved embracing imperfection through trial and error, leading to iconic architectural achievements. Ando's philosophy was not driven by perfectionism, but by balancing aesthetics and functionality, accepting inevitable flaws while ensuring structural integrity. When the 1995 Kobe earthquake struck, none of his 35 buildings in the area collapsed, a testament to designs that prioritized durability over flawless appearance. He understood that achieving important goals sometimes requires compromising on less critical aspects. The societal pressure for perfection can be a trap. Perfectionism, an obsession with flawlessness, often hinders progress by inducing paralyzing self-pressure and a focus on minor details at the expense of the bigger picture. Research indicates perfectionism doesn't necessarily correlate with success. Fear of failure can stifle risk-taking, creativity, and the pursuit of new challenges, potentially leading to burnout. The antidote is shifting focus from perfection to excellence. Ando achieved excellence by strategically accepting imperfections, as seen in his award-winning design for a tiny 200-square-foot house where flawlessness was impossible. Life involves making the best of circumstances, learning from mistakes, and knowing when good enough suffices versus when to push further. Believing one mistake equals failure impedes growth. Recognizing mistakes as integral to the journey is key. Many successful individuals had average academic records but excelled due to their ability to learn from errors. Diving coach Eric Best fostered growth by setting goals based on incremental progress. Did you make yourself better today? Did you make someone else better today? Rather than immediate perfection, promoting learning from each attempt. The Japanese aesthetic of wabi-sabi, Finding beauty in imperfection is reflected in Ando's work and offers a valuable life lesson. Accepting natural imperfections allows for progress and finding beauty in the process, rather than being frozen by the pursuit of an unattainable ideal. Striving for excellence, learning from flaws, and continuous improvement form the path to meaningful achievement. Navigating challenges, support systems, and mindsets. The need for scaffolding, external support in overcoming obstacles. While character skills are vital, they are not always sufficient to overcome significant challenges. Obstacles inevitably arise, bringing frustration, burnout, and self-doubt. In such times, external support structures termed scaffolding by psychologists become crucial. Scaffolding provides temporary assistance from mentors, coaches, peers, or even tools, enabling individuals to reach heights they couldn't attain alone and fostering resilience. Intriguingly, research showed that playing Tetris shortly after viewing disturbing video clips significantly reduced intrusive flashbacks. While not a cure for complex trauma like PTSD, this demonstrates that scaffolding can take unexpected forms. Tetris acts as a cognitive scaffold, distracting the mind and interfering with the consolidation of distressing visual memories. Effective scaffolding is typically tailored to the specific obstacle, provided externally, offered at the right time, timely intervention, like Tetris immediately post-exposure, and intended to be temporary, removed once the individual can manage independently. Transforming practice with deliberate play. Scaffolding isn't just for crises. It can transform routine tasks and combat the demotivation of the daily grind. World-renowned percussionist Evelyn Glennie, who is profoundly deaf, exemplifies this. Initially rejected by a top conservatory due to doubts about her ability to succeed as a deaf musician, she found a unique way to learn by feeling musical vibrations. Her teacher, Ron Forbes, provided crucial scaffolding, adapting lessons to her needs. Instead of monotonous drills, her practice involved playful challenges, learning music through touch. This approach made learning enjoyable and sustainable, avoiding the tedium often associated with skill development. The most effective skill development often integrates enjoyment into the process, rather than relying solely on arduous repetition. This leads to the concept of deliberate play, blending structured, goal-oriented practice with elements of fun and engagement. Deliberate play maintains motivation and passion during the pursuit of mastery. Coach Brandon Payne used this with NBA star Stephen Curry, turning drills like free throws into engaging games like 21, combined with sprints, enhancing focus and skill simultaneously. This principle applies broadly. Healthcare professionals incorporating deliberate play reported less burnout and higher job satisfaction. Crucially, incorporating regular breaks is also part of effective practice, preventing burnout and enhancing creativity and recall, as practiced by Glennie and supported by research. Curry's success underscores the power of loving the process, facilitated by deliberate play, combining passion with practice. Finding ways to make the learning process enjoyable, utilizing appropriate scaffolding, and balancing work with play are key to unlocking potential and sustaining progress. The zigzag path, why progress isn't always linear. Feeling stuck or hitting a plateau is a common experience, but it often signals a need for reassessment rather than an endpoint. Baseball player R. A. Dickey's career illustrates how setbacks can precede breakthroughs. A promising prospect, Dickey's trajectory was drastically altered upon discovering a missing elbow ligament, slashing his signing bonus and potential. Years in the minor leagues followed. Brief major league appearances were marred by mediocre performance, leading to demotion, a journeyman label. Despite intense effort, a disastrous outing giving up 6 home runs seemed career-ending. However, Dickey staged a remarkable comeback at age 35. The key was mastering the knuckleball, an erratic pitch that became his signature. Signing with the Mets in 2010, he achieved career best performance, leading the league in strikeouts and winning the Cy Young Award. His success was born from years of trial, error, and strategically backing up to ultimately move forward. Progress rarely follows a straight line. Stagnation often indicates the current path is ineffective, requiring a change in strategy. Cognitive science research shows that performance often declines temporarily when switching to a more effective, albeit initially unfamiliar method, e.g., transitioning from hunt and peck to touch typing before significant improvement occurs. This pattern of temporary regression preceding advancement applies to teams as well. Studies on NBA teams show performance improvement exceeding pre-injury levels after a star player returns, as the team learned new collaborative strategies during the absence. Finding direction, the role of compasses, guides, small wins, and detours. When stuck, finding direction is key. A compass, a guiding principle or insight, can point towards a new path. For Dickey, coaches pointing him toward the knuckleball served as his compass, requiring him to unlearn old habits and embrace a new approach. While guidance, guides, is valuable, relying on a single expert is often insufficient, as advice may lack specificity for unique situations. Dickey sought insights from multiple knuckleball mentors like Tim Wakefield and Phil Necro. Research supports the benefit of multiple mentors, offering diverse perspectives and potentially uncovering novel solutions. Focusing on small wins provides crucial motivation during challenging transitions. Dickey tracked successful knuckleball throws, finding encouragement in incremental progress. Celebrating small achievements fuels momentum and sustains effort through larger obstacles. Sometimes progress requires a detour, stepping away from the primary goal to refuel. Dickey's climb of Mount Kilimanjaro provided a mental reset and renewed energy for baseball. Engaging in unrelated hobbies or side projects can offer similar benefits, improving overall performance and motivation upon return. Dickey's detour likely contributed to the perspective needed for his peak performance and Cy Young Award in 2012. The journey involves setbacks and requires adaptability. Using scaffolding, compasses, guides, celebrating small wins, and taking strategic detours enables navigation through stagnation towards eventual breakthroughs. The power of collaboration and collective intelligence. Beyond bootstraps, mutual support, and defying gravity. The adage, "Pull yourself up by your bootstraps," emphasizes self-reliance, but true success often hinges on collaboration and turning outward for support. The story of the Golden 13, the first 16 black officers commissioned in the segregated U.S. Navy during World War II, powerfully illustrates this. Facing immense racial prejudice, segregation, and low expectations upon arrival for an accelerated, grueling officer training program, their prospects seemed dim. Some candidates had personal reasons for self-doubt. Defying all odds, all 16 candidates not only passed, but achieved the highest average scores in Navy history at the time, GPA 3.89. Their extraordinary success stemmed from intense mutual support, leveraging collective strengths and collaborative learning. Facing daunting tasks requires both competence and confidence. Mindset matters. Viewing challenges as threats can induce paralysis, while seeing them as conquerable fosters a proactive response, growth mindset. However, mindset alone may be insufficient without scaffolding, support from others that builds capability and confidence. The Golden 13 exemplified this, leaning on each other under immense pressure. They actively taught each other, pooling knowledge and turning individual expertise into collective power, ensuring no one was left behind. The tutor effect and coach effect. Lifting ourselves by lifting others. Teaching others is a potent way to solidify one's own understanding. The tutor effect. Research confirms that tutoring improves the tutor's own knowledge and performance. The Golden 13 lived this, with members like Jesse Arbor sharing navigation skills and Morse code, fostering reciprocal learning. This teaching enhanced both competence and confidence across the group. Furthermore, coaching others, offering encouragement and support, can boost one's own motivation and perseverance, known as the coach effect. The Golden 13 consistently coached one another, providing encouragement during moments of doubt, holding each other accountable, and raising collective expectations. This mutual belief propelled them forward against formidable odds. Overcoming doubts and low expectations. External low expectations represent a significant obstacle. The Golden 13 faced pervasive societal and institutional doubt, which they channeled into fuel to prove detractors wrong. Mountaineer Allison Levine encountered similar skepticism during her Everest attempts due to perceived physical limitations. Rather than succumbing, these doubts intensified her resolve, driven also by a deeper purpose, honoring a deceased friend. With support from a believing guide, she summited. These stories highlight resilience as a form of growth, navigating not just peaks, but also valleys. The Golden 13 understood their success carried weight beyond themselves, paving the way for future generations. Ultimately, success is often achieved not in isolation, but through leaning on others, mutual support, and collective effort, pulling together to defy gravity. Building ecosystems of opportunity, systemic approaches to potential, addressing systemic barriers to opportunity. While individual traits and skills are crucial, unlocking potential on a broader scale necessitates examining the systems in education, work, and society that either facilitate or hinder opportunity. Economist Raj Chetty's research starkly reveals the impact of opportunity gaps. Children from wealthier backgrounds are vastly more likely to become inventors, even when controlling for cognitive ability, highlighting the role of access to resources and mentorship over innate talent alone. Geography also plays a critical role. Growing up in innovation hubs significantly increases a child's likelihood of inventing. Relocation to high-opportunity areas can substantially boost success chances. Furthermore, exposure to relevant role models is key. Girls are more likely to invent when surrounded by female inventors, suggesting that equal exposure could dramatically increase female innovation rates. This underscores the need for systems that provide equitable access to opportunity for everyone, regardless of background. Lessons from Finland. Nurturing every student. Finland's education system offers a compelling model for nurturing potential universally. Once an educational underdog, Finland transformed its system to achieve top global rankings, e.g. PISA Test 2000, by prioritizing equity and believing in every student's potential. Instead of focusing only on high achievers, Finland invests heavily in supporting all students, resulting in the smallest achievement gaps globally. Practices include personalized learning, early interventions, high professional respect and autonomy for teachers, viewed as mentors, and looping, students staying with the same teacher for multiple years. Looping fosters deep teacher-student relationships and personalized support, demonstrably improving outcomes, especially for struggling students. Finnish schools also prioritize social-emotional well-being through dedicated welfare teams, teachers, psychologists, social workers, principals, ensuring holistic student support. This contrasts with systems overly focused on standardized testing at the expense of emotional and social development. Finland recognizes that nurturing the whole student, academically, emotionally, socially, is key to unlocking potential. Ability grouping is avoided. Instead, Personalized plans help students progress at their own pace. Learning is also made enjoyable, with significant emphasis on play-based learning in early years to foster creativity, problem-solving, and intrinsic motivation, factors linked to later academic success. Finland's success demonstrates that fostering a supportive, equitable culture benefits all students. Creating similar systems of opportunity globally is essential to ensure every child can reach their full potential. Fostering collective intelligence through collaborative systems. The dramatic 2010 rescue of 33 miners trapped in Chile exemplifies the power of collective intelligence over individual genius. Facing unprecedented challenges and uncertain information, the rescue succeeded due to the team's ability to harness the diverse expertise and ideas of engineers, mining experts, and unexpected contributors. Success stemmed from creating an environment where all contributions were valued, regardless of formal role or seniority. Research confirms that the effectiveness of teams, collective intelligence, depends more on social dynamics, collaboration, sharing, listening, than on the cognitive skills of individual members. Good collaborators amplify a team's potential, while disruptive individuals, e.g., those with narcissistic traits, can hinder it, even if individually brilliant. Leaders are crucial in cultivating this collaborative environment. The Chilean rescue leader, Andrés Sugaray, his approach was distinct. He relied heavily on listening skills and building strong team cohesion rather than issuing commands. Upon arrival at the mine site, he took the time to gather input from all the experts, adjusting strategies in real time as new information came in. He set up a process where multiple plans were pursued simultaneously, and he made sure that the best pro-social leaders, not the most assertive or experienced, were placed in charge of critical tasks. He excelled not through command, but by listening and fostering teamwork, ensuring all voices felt heard and valued. This contrasts with traditional hierarchical ladder structures that centralize power and bottleneck ideas. The rescue team operated more like a lattice system, allowing ideas to flow freely across levels and enabling individuals like the young engineer Igor Proestakis to champion his initially dismissed but ultimately life-saving drilling idea, Plan B, using a cluster hammer. Collective intelligence thrives on diversity of thought and psychological safety, an environment where members feel safe to speak up without fear. Igor's idea was considered on merit, not dismissed due to his inexperience. Unlocking team potential requires systems encouraging collaboration, valuing diverse input, and fostering pro-social behavior, allowing the best ideas to surface regardless of origin. Rethinking evaluation, measuring trajectory to reveal potential. The story of José Hernandez, who dreamed of becoming an astronaut after watching the Apollo missions, highlights flaws in conventional evaluation systems. Despite diligently pursuing engineering degrees and repeatedly applying to NASA from 1989 onwards, meticulously building his qualifications, grants, patents, diverse experiences, he faced 11 rejections over many years. He nearly gave up, urged on by his wife. NASA's process, focused on past achievements, consistently overlooked the immense perseverance, adaptability, and resilience forged through overcoming his background as a child of migrant farm workers, facing educational disruption and language barriers. This issue is widespread in education and hiring, where reliance on standardized metrics, GPA, test scores, specific job titles, often fails to capture the context of adversity overcome or the trajectory of growth. Such systems measure past excellence, but miss future potential, potentially disadvantaging those whose paths were more challenging. Experience alone is not a reliable predictor of future success. The ability to learn, adapt, and overcome challenges holds greater weight. Evaluating potential based on distance traveled, how far someone has come considering their starting point and obstacles, rather than just the end point achieved. José Hernandez's resilience and growth, though not fitting the traditional mold, were indicators of exceptional potential. Success should encompass effort, response to challenges, and learning accrued along the journey. Evaluation systems should aim to identify these hidden gems. This requires looking beyond static achievements to measure growth trajectories. One potential solution is considering grade point trajectory, GPT, in admissions, valuing upward trends in grades as signals of resilience and potential, especially for students overcoming early struggles. Similarly, in hiring, demonstrated ability to overcome setbacks should be weighted alongside experience. Adjusting metrics to account for adversity and growth provides a more accurate assessment of future potential. José Hernandez's eventual acceptance and success as an astronaut underscore that true potential often lies beneath the surface, revealed through struggle and growth. Identifying this requires looking at the journey, not just the resume, recognizing uncut diamonds awaiting the opportunity to shine. Unlocking hidden potential is a multifaceted endeavor, requiring both individual commitment and systemic support. From the Raging Rooks demonstrating the power of character over circumstance, to the polyglots embracing discomfort, to Mellody Hobson embodying absorptive capacity, individual strategies involving growth mindsets, resilience, adaptability, and a focus on excellence over perfection are crucial. However, individual effort flourishes best within supportive ecosystems. Scaffolding, deliberate play, and collaborative networks like the Golden 13 provide necessary support during challenges. Ultimately, creating true equity requires systemic change, building educational and professional environments like Finland's that nurture all individuals, fostering collective intelligence as seen in the Chilean mine rescue, and adopting evaluation methods that recognize potential revealed through adversity and growth, as José Hernandez's journey illustrates. By cultivating potential within ourselves and actively building systems of opportunity, we can help individuals and communities reach heights previously unimagined.